What about you, Ramiro 283? Did you plug in with us in the morning? I'm not sure if you did. I'm not sure if you did, but if you did, you should be up. You should be up. NAS ran from our or from the entry, it ran over 380 pips. If you caught it at this entry here, if you caught it a little bit earlier when we were on the call in the morning, then over 400. And if you were a savage like me, you caught it here at this structure, right in here at the retest. Boom. Because we all know for the past, I'd say 2 months, for the past 2 months, NAS has been respecting the same structure for the past 2 months, ever since back in October, like Halloween, we made these highs and then we broke above right in here, right? We have the liquidity build up, we sweep, break above, retest, and we flew. And price has been hovering around here for a while. Anytime price breaks, anytime price breaks structure and stays above that structure for a while, that's a very good sign, right? If you have liquidity being built up, you sweep the lows, break above, you want to see price stay up here for a while. The longer price stays up here, it lets you know how much in control the buyers are. If price doesn't stay up there and it does something like this where it just gives you the liquidity, sweep, break above, and immediately drop, that more than likely is going to be a fake out, and that whole setup may get clapped. But as we see here, NAS has been up here for a minute. And on top of that, if you go to the monthly chart, this is the monthly highs of November. This whole candle is the November candle for the month. And as we can see here, in January, we actually closed with a full body candle above the November highs. That is significant, right? So this lets us know on the higher time frame, overall price does want to continue in this direction. If you wanted to look for sells, you would have had to seen a close beneath one of these lows in here, but we haven't gotten any closes beneath any previous monthly lows. We've only been getting higher highs and higher lows over and over, perpetuating the uptrend as we see. So I'm personally not trying to fight that wave. It's like, imagine trying to climb a rope up the Niagara Falls. I'm not doing that. That's hard. You can though, it's not impossible. And again, looking at the structure here on the weekly, this is significant weekly structure. Right in here, we've been holding this level. And again, 20,800, that is the previous all-time high over here. That's also been holding up. So price is steadily respecting this area. So anytime you get a drop back into these zones, I have no problem setting buy elements. I have no problem pulling the trigger. And if you were with us yesterday on the market recap, we came to this area, right? This is, since price is coming back to the same structure, what I want to see is some type of accumulation near this structure here, which we got on the daily time frame. On the daily, it just looks like one candle, right? You have a high and a low. But last night I did break down how this is accumulation on the 15-minute, 30, 1 hour, anything less than the daily time frame. This candle here broken down, that's an accumulation schematic. Because we broke structure right here, that marks the completion of the accumulation. So when price came back down, was an easy snipe to get into. Even before, when it came down, when the market gapped aggressively last Sunday, we dropped right into the buy zone, easy buys, price flew over 1,000 points. And then this week it did the same exact thing. Literally the same exact thing, came right back down to the same buy zone, easy buys. And then there were some people who were kind of skeptical about taking these buys. So I said, hey, let's go down to the 15-minute and let's be a little patient. No need to rush into a trade. And what we had seen was, we had saw this here. We had saw price make all this movement here. It was looking like this. And I said, hey, you want to wait for price to at least break above these highs. If you want to be a little bit more aggressive, you could have went down and even used these highs. This was the first high that we broke above inside of this entire range on the 15 minute. And as we see, breaking above these highs marks the completion of the accumulation. And if you go down to the 1 minute, you can see for yourself what I mean. Clean accumulation. We had the low, the high, the sweep, break above, retest, and then gone, right? So this was a clean completion of the accumulation. That's the same 15-minute high that we had marked up. And you could have actually taken these trades. I did call this out last night in the chat. Personally, I took this as well. So this ran for, well over 500 points, right? Right there, right to the gap from the market open. TP smacked, price did its thing. And as it broke above, it even gave us another type of setup here. We have nasty liquidity buildup, emotional damage happening right in here. And then we got that nasty sweep. We swept all this liquidity, all of it. And then we broke above. So if price decides to come back here in between tonight, London session, or tomorrow, New York session, I would not mind taking this continuation trade. In fact, I even have a buy limit set right here at the structure as well. If you even go to the 4-hour time frame and look at this area here, we also have the imbalance. On top of that, you can also use these highs to enter on top of that as well. And if you go ahead and draw your Fibonacci and see where the discount is, right from the lows to the highs, this imbalance lines up perfectly with the discount zone. Anything from here and below is discounted prices. So this buy limit that we have set here is perfectly inside of the discount range. I do not recommend taking any FOMO trades. I know we had some people, engage in some FOMO activity and then their account went negative $500. When the gap opened up here, they were in NAS buys up here in these areas. And if you're going to, take buys at the highs, especially near previous gaps, you have to be aware that, there's a chance that price can reverse, and you definitely can't be over leveraged. If I'm holding any trades over the weekend, it's going to be 0.01. It's not going to be anything more than that, because if that thing gaps down, which it did, there's a high chance of your account getting cooked. And we saw the gap down over 500 points. Nasty work. Nasty work. So make sure you guys are using proper lot sizes. Don't try to, drop the Lambo lots and catch the FOMO trades and, catch, 30 pips with a 25 lot. Just use the 0.01 and let that thing ride out, right? Yeah, exactly. That's why a lot of people don't trade on Fridays, because, they have had some bad experiences of the market gapping against them. Personally, I've only had the market gap in my direction one time. Like one time I was in some buys and then the market closed, and then when it opened back up, I had my TP, like let's say here, but it gapped up way past my TP. So I actually made more money. I was like, oh, bet. But I've never had it go against me and then make the account negative. I don't know what to do. That would be crazy work. But if you want to be a little bit more aggressive, if you don't really care to take the trade in the discount zone, we don't know if price actually does want to come down here. But if you're looking at the current structure here, let me know in the chat, what do we see here? What is this? What am I drawing? Higher high, higher low. Higher high, higher low. Higher high, higher low. What is this? What is this here? Let me know in the chat. What does it mean when the price is making higher highs? Exactly, an uptrend, right? This is a very clean uptrend. We're making higher highs and higher lows. And if you look at what's happening here, this is even more accumulation. Again, because every time we break structure, that marks the completion of the accumulation. Because if I go, let's say, to the 1 minute and look at this more closely, we can see some accumulation. It's not as clean as all the other ones, but let's say, for instance, you wanted to use this as liquidity, all this as liquidity, boom, and then we got that sweep of the lows, and then we did break structure right in here above all these highs. We came back to retest the same accumulation, and then price did fly. So technically, based off structure, you could use this to enter and continue the move up. But you have to keep in mind, disclaimer, that this is considered a high risk trade. This is considered more aggressive. It's also in the premium as well. But again, I'm going to exercise patience, and I'm waiting for this. If it doesn't come back down there, that's perfectly fine. I still have some runners. I'm in no rush either. But we did fill this gap. We had a huge gap, and we immediately filled it within one candle, within one daily candle. Okay, market gapped all the way down, and we came right back up. So that tells you the buyers are in control. Yes, there was massive amounts of selling pressure at the beginning of the week. Maybe, during after hours, and, they were doing some, some trading after hours, things like that, that brought the market down, or maybe, it's news, things like that, that influenced the market. But the fact that we came right back up, like that gap never even happened, it tells me that price wants to continue higher. Especially, again, this high, this is the previous monthly high from November, and we broke above the highs, and we stayed above for a while. We didn't just break above and immediately drop back down. So this is a very strong area, and not only did we break above these highs, we also broke above these highs as well. Boom. We didn't stay above that much, but it still held pretty good. And then over here we have these equal highs, or it was equal highs. It got liquidated, sold off. So that makes sense as to why we got some gaps down, lots of selling pressure right in there. So all we have on NAS is the potential for price to either come back down here to mitigate the structure to continue. And keep in mind, if price does not come back to retest the structure, that means it will leave the imbalance. Anytime you break structure and don't come back for that retest, it leaves imbalance. If this candle were to come back and retest this structure, just like that, this candle is now balanced. It's healthy price action. But because we didn't get that retest, as we see, that is the imbalance. Even if you go higher and look at this structure here, technically we haven't violated these levels either. We're still respecting the structure, and we haven't even broken beneath these lows right in there. So this could be respected. Price could continue from here. As we see, we're already getting that push. It looks fairly good. And then if we do end up breaking above these highs here without going lower, then we can use this area as a new position to continue the move higher. But only time will tell. We don't know. Yes, we have a massive imbalance here as well. We have an order block, but I'm not too worried about. Anytime I see like the sells, I see them, but I don't even acknowledge it because we are uptrending. I'd rather just wait for price to sell off and then catch the next buy. I know there's money to be made both ways. You can catch the sells all day long, and you can catch the buys. Shout out to Chris. Shout out to my boy Jonathan. He's always catching he never even takes the buys. He's literally only taking sells, but he makes bank. He makes bank. But yeah, that's what we have for NAS. Super clean. It's still pushing. If you took the trade, you made well over 300, 400 points. That's minimum on the lowest lot size, $400 minimum, right? Just from plugging in and setting a buy limit. Easy work. Press play, walk away. When it comes to S&P and US 30, same exact thing. If you look at Bitcoin as well, right? We are still respecting 100,000. We're well above 100,000. Price has been holding. Boom. If you look at the monthly time frame as well, what happened? We closed above full body candle, above the highs from November, just like the NAS. This is the November candle. Massive imbalance, but we closed above the highs. And what happened? We swept lows. Price came to sweep the previous monthly lows, tapped into the imbalance, and then broke structure. And then this month, super clean. We came right back down, tested that same structure flawlessly, no drawdown. Price is up almost 10,000 points. Clean. So many people were panicking and, oh no, crypto's dropping. What do I do? It's very clear that people haven't studied Warren Buffett. What's the quote that he says? Buy when others are fearful. When everyone is scared and, oh no, the market is selling. Oh, that's when you buy. That's when you buy. And if you look here, the fear and greed index, where are we at? It's fearful. People are fearful. That means you buy. You buy. Right? Made 1,600 today with Bitcoin alone. I see you. Okay, Brandon. That means tacos are on you, buddy. Tacos are on you. Next time I see you, I like carne asada con todo, con queso. I need that. I need that. But yeah, crypto's looking good. Still bullish. Ethereum as well. We are still respecting the structure right in there. Full body candle close. I don't believe we even swept the lows. So this is still valid. This whole area was your buy zone. This was the whole, this is the monthly accumulation zone here. This is monthly accumulation. And it accumulated and then price broke structure here. Came back down to retest. If you look at the Fibonacci as well, came right back down, gave people that emotional damage. It put doubt into people's minds. If this structure wasn't enough for you, if that wasn't convincing, maybe you use this structure here from the past. We broke this structure. Boom. Came back to retest. And look how long price stayed above. We broke structure and then price hovered above here for several months. That lets you know buyers are well in control. On the monthly, yeah, we're in there. Yes, we have some distribution in here. But again, this is an uptrend, right? This is an uptrend. And then if you go to, I believe, gold, same thing, XRP, sheesh. Again, XRP, we swept previous lows, swept some lows, and then price flew. Boom. Came back down. Everyone and their mom put their stop loss right here. Price came back, tapped into that liquidity, even tapped into some of this imbalance, flew. Massive rejection. Nasty work. Looking at gold, same thing with gold. What happened with gold? We closed above the highs of October, right? This full body candle closed right above the highs from October. And then this month we came back to retest the structure and then continue to make new highs. So now we're looking to see if this monthly candle can full body candle close above these highs, which would continue the uptrend. So we're just allowing price to move and do its thing. It's been super textbook. It's pretty solid. Right? I have no complaints at all. Super clean price action, super clean movement. You guys are killing it as well. I see you guys in the chat, making that money, dropping your profits. It feels good when other people are making money. Right? It can't just be me. I feel bad when if I make money and no one took the trade. I'm like, damn, am I the only one eating? I can't be the only one that's trying to eat. you know, because I'm low key a big back. I low key got that big back, you know. So I'm trying to eat on and off the charts. But yeah, that's pretty much it for NAS, Bitcoin, you know, crypto, gold. You guys have anything else you want to go over? Any questions? Any markups? If you know, if you guys are looking for sales, I know we got some people who are like dead set on the sales. You know, this is probably the best area that I'd be looking for. You know, above any previous monthly highs, like right in here, or even the previous weekly highs. I would wait for a sweep of some liquidity and then take a sell. Like I would wait for price to come above these highs and then maybe give you like some distribution on the in between the 1 minute, 15 minute, and then take that. You know, if not this one, then this one. You know, you just gotta play with it. We haven't broken above these highs right in here. We tried, swept, sold off. Again, sold off. Again, sold off. So these highs are holding up pretty strong, standing on business. But yeah, if I were looking for sales, I'd look in this area here to continue. But again, it is a counter trend trade, so that, you know, just be very cautious of that. But that is gonna be it for me. That's what I have going on for indices. Again, we are looking for a potential area for price to mitigate from, either down here. I have 2 buy limits set, one at each one of these highs right in there. If this does hold up, we're gonna find out in between tonight and tomorrow during New York session. But I do have my eye down here. But who knows? Price may respect this structure and it continue to move higher. But thank you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. That's pretty much it on my end. Let me stop the recording.